Welcome back to the show. You are listening to episode 413 of AI Brief. So we have a very distinct stack of updates today. It feels like we're seeing three massive threads hitting all at once.
It does. It's a mix of creative disruption and just pure infrastructure scaling.
On one hand, you have this democratization of high-end video creation coming out of Asia. Then there's the inevitable monetization of our favorite chatbots.
The free lunch is over.
Exactly. And finally, something that feels, I don't know, a little sci-fi, how self-driving cars are learning to see the world.
So here's the roadmap for this deep dive.
First, ByteDance, TikTok's parent company, just dropped a video model called Seedance 2.0, and the specs are, frankly, a little alarming.
They are. Then OpenAI has started rolling out ads in ChatGPT.
And we need to talk about what that does to the user experience and specifically the cost of opting out. And finally, Waymo is using dreamed-up simulations, literal AI hallucinations, to teach their cars how to handle dangerous situations. They're using Google's Genie 3 model.
That last one is my favorite. It just blurs the line between video generation and actual robotics.
Let's get right into it. ByteDance, Seedance 2.0. So every week we hear about a new game-changer video model. Sora, Veo, Kling. Is this actually different? Or is it just more marketing hype?
You know, I was skeptical when I first saw the press release, but after looking at the beta footage, this feels substantial.
Okay.
The buzz right now is that the center of gravity for video AI is shifting east. ByteDance released this in beta through their Gemeng AI platform, and the output quality is, well, it's arguably better than anything you can publicly access right now.
Better in what way? Because quality can be so subjective.
It's the combination of resolution and coherence.
Yeah.
They're hitting 2K resolution natively.
2K is sharp, sure. But we've seen high res before.
We have, but usually at the cost of motion, right?
Yeah.
You get a high-res image that barely moves, or you get a blurry video that moves a lot.
Right.
Seedance 2.0 is doing 2K resolution with 15-second outputs, and it maintains really complex motion, and that 15-second mark is the killer.
Why is 15 seconds the magic number? To me, 15 seconds sounds, like a TikTok. It's short.
In the world of these diffusion models, time is the enemy. The longer a video generates, the more likely the AI is to forget what the subject looks like.
Oh, right, like a person walks through a door and turns into a refrigerator.
Exactly. So keeping a character consistent for 15 full seconds at 2K resolution is a massive compute hurdle.
And from the examples I've seen, they aren't just doing, nature shots of clouds moving.
No, and that's the other big differentiator. They're showing complex fight scenes, animation, motion graphics. The fight scenes are especially telling.
Why is that?
Because they require rapid movement and multiple subjects interacting. Usually AI just turns that into a blur of limbs. Here, it's distinct.
And it has audio.
Native audio generation that syncs with the video. So you don't even need a separate sound effect tool.
Okay, so if ByteDance has this, and Kuaishou just released Kling 3.0, it feels like the U.S. labs are being a bit quiet.
That's the narrative that's forming. Kuaishou and ByteDance are shipping. The U.S. labs, Google with Veo, OpenAI with Sora, they're still largely in closed testing or very controlled releases.
So what's the implication there?
It suggests that Chinese labs are moving very close to, or maybe are currently sitting at, the frontier of the video sector.
What does this mean for a creator? If I'm a YouTuber or an advertiser, does this change my workflow today?
If you can get access to the Gemeng AI platform, yes, it has Veo-like implications. It means B-roll is effectively a solved problem. If you need a cinematic shot of a cyberpunk city or a specific character reaction, you can just generate it in 2K. You don't need to hire a VFX artist for those 15 seconds.
Before we move on, I saw they also dropped something called Seedream 5.0.
Yeah, that's their image model. They released it in preview on third-party apps. It's clearly positioned to compete with Nano Banana Pro.
So a full court press.
Images and video simultaneously.
All right, let's pivot from creating content to consuming it and paying for it. OpenAI has officially started showing ads.
The inevitable has arrived.
We knew it was coming, but now it's real. OpenAI is testing ads in ChatGPT for U.S. users. And this isn't just for people on the free tier, is it?
Correct. This applies to the free tier and the $8 a month Go tier. So even if you're paying a subscription, if it's the lower tier one, you are still the product.
I have to ask the obvious question that I think every listener is thinking right now. If I'm asking ChatGPT for advice on which laptop to buy, and Dell has paid them $200,000, am I going to get an honest answer?
That is the core tension. OpenAI has been very, very explicit in their announcement.
What did they say?
They stated that ad content will not impact ChatGPT's answers. The ad appears below the chat response, so it's visually distinct.
Visually distinct, sure. But we know how these algorithms work. If the model knows it needs to serve an ad for Dell, isn't there a subtle incentive to steer the conversation that way?
They claim the generation itself is firewalled from the ad targeting. But you are right to be skeptical. The model is incentivized to keep you engaging with topics that are, well, monetizable.
And the targeting sounds pretty invasive. It uses your memory.
Yes. If you told ChatGPT 3 weeks ago you're planning a wedding, and today you ask about flowers, it can use that memory to serve you a wedding photographer ad.
That's deeper than anything Google search can do.
Because it knows you more intimately.
Okay, so let's say I hate this. I want out. I'm a free user. I don't have the budget for Pro, but I don't want ads. Can I opt out?
You can, but there's a penalty.
A penalty.
If a free tier user opts out of ads, OpenAI reduces their daily message allowance.
Wow, so it's a punishment.
It's a funnel. They're saying you can have privacy or you can have utility. Pick one. It's a very aggressive move to convert free users into paid subscribers.
And for the advertisers, is this like Facebook where I can just throw $5 at a boosted post?
Not at all. This is premium white glove inventory. The reported minimum price tag to even get into this pilot is $200,000.
$200,000.
It keeps the quality high, in theory. You're not going to see dropshipping scams yet. You'll see Omnicom clients, major global brands. But it also signals that OpenAI is looking for serious revenue. They are not playing around.
It feels like that experimental phase of AI is ending and the corporate utility phase is starting.
That's a perfect way to put it. Anthropic even mocked this in their Super Bowl ad, right?
Yeah.
Positioning themselves as the clean alternative. But honestly, compute is expensive. Someone has to pay for the electricity.
Speaking of electricity and compute, let's talk about Waymo. This story fascinates me because it just sounds like science fiction. They're using Genie 3 to train their cars.
And this connects directly back to our first story about ByteDance, but with much, much higher stakes. ByteDance generates video for your entertainment. Waymo is using DeepMind's Genie 3 to generate video for survival.
Explain that distinction. What is the Waymo world model?
So a world model is different from just a video generator. A video generator predicts the next pixel to make a pretty picture. A world model tries to predict the next state of the world based on physics and cause and effect. Waymo is using Genie 3 to create a driving simulator.
But why do they need a simulator? I mean, Waymo cars are driving millions of miles in San Francisco and Phoenix every single day. Don't they have enough data?
They have enough boring data. That's the problem with real-world driving. 99.9% of the time, nothing happens.
Right. You drive, you stop, you turn.
Exactly. But to make a self-driving car truly safe, you have to train it on that 0.01% of events, the edge cases.
Like a kid running into the street after a ball in the rain.
Exactly. Or a person in a dinosaur costume jumping out of a manhole. You can't wait for that to happen in real life to train the car. So they use Genie 3 to dream these scenarios up.
So the engineers just type in prompts?
They can. They can reshape scenes, add fog, change the lighting, add an obstacle, and the AI generates all the sensor data.
And it's not just video, right? Because a car doesn't just see video.
Right, and this is the technical breakthrough. The model takes Genie 3's visual knowledge and converts it into paired camera and LiDAR outputs.
For those who don't know, what is LiDAR in this context?
LiDAR uses laser pulses to measure distance. It creates a 3D map of the world. Simulating LiDAR is incredibly hard because it's precise geometric data, not just pretty colors. If the simulation is wrong by an inch,
the car crashes in the real world.
The car crashes in the real world.
There was a detail in the report about a hack they used to make this work. Something about speed.
This is so clever. Genie 3, like a lot of models, has a limited context window. A short memory, basically. Couldn't generate a long, continuous driving sequence.
It would forget where the road was.
It would. So the engineers ran the footage at 4 times the normal speed.
They fast-forwarded the simulation.
Effectively. By compressing the time, they could fit a longer driving scenario into the model's short memory. It stretches the simulation's duration so the car can practice a full maneuver, like merging onto a highway.
That is just brilliant engineering, using the tool's limitations against itself.
It is. And while Google Street View gave them the map, this world model gives them infinite experience. It's the only way to scale safety data without physically driving 1 billion miles.
I want to shift gears now. We have a few stories that are a bit more complex, so let's slow it down and really digest what these mean for the broader ecosystem.
Let's do it.
First, the Harvard Business Review. They published an 8-month case study on AI in the workplace, We're always sold this idea that AI gives us our time back, Let the bot write the email so you can go home early, HBR says. Well, not so much.
This study is a bit of a wake-up call. They found that enterprise AI tools didn't actually reduce the workload. They intensified it.
So people worked faster.
They worked faster, yes. But they didn't clock off early. They just tackled a broader scope of tasks and actually clocked more hours.
Why? Is it because bosses just demanded more?
Not necessarily. It looks like a case of induced demand. Because the tasks became easier to do, employees just started doing more of them. The detail that stood out to me was that workers were feeding tasks to AI during meetings, even during their lunch breaks.
So the dead time in the day is now just AI management time.
Precisely. Instead of hiring a new person, the existing employee just expands to fill the capacity using AI. It suggests AI isn't a labor saver, it's a capacity expander.
Which is great for the company, maybe not so great for the human.
A recipe for burnout, perhaps?
Speaking of expanding capacity, Amazon is making a move on the data front. The information reports they're launching a marketplace for training data.
This is the formalization of the data economy. For years, AI companies just scraped the web for free. Now, Amazon wants to build a marketplace where publishers can sell their content directly to AI companies for training.
Like an app store, but for text.
It follows a similar move by Microsoft. It signals that the Wild West era of scraping is probably ending. If you want high-quality data now, you have to pay for it.
And Amazon wants to be the broker,
taking a cut of every transaction.
Let's move to the numbers because they are getting astronomical. We have updates on both OpenAI and Anthropic.
The scale here is... It's hard to comprehend. First, Sam Altman reportedly told employees that ChatGPT is seeing over 10% monthly growth.
And this is on a product that already has hundreds of millions of users.
10% month over month is just staggering.
And Anthropic.
They're reportedly raising a new round of over $20 billion next week. That would value them at $350 billion.
And that money isn't just for salaries.
No, it's for infrastructure. They are hiring execs specifically to pursue at least 10 gigawatts of data center capacity.
Help us visualize 10 gigawatts.
That is roughly the power consumption of a small nation, or about 8 to 10 million homes. We're talking about building entirely new power plants just to run these models.
So the bottleneck isn't code anymore.
It's physics, it's power, and it's silicon.
Lastly, in this section, a quick update from 11 Labs. They're targeting authors.
They launched a full production suite for audiobooks. The goal is to let an author upload a manuscript and get a retail-ready audiobook out the other end.
Bypassing the studio and the voice actor.
Completely. Which is great for indie authors, but terrifying for narrators. It lowers the barrier to entry to zero. We'll see a flood of audio content, but the question is, can listeners tell the difference?
All right, let's bring it home with the tools. We're seeing a lot of new names pop up this week. I'm going to run through them, and maybe you can group them for us. A lot of these seem focused on coding.
They are. The theme of the week is definitely agentic coding.
Okay, let's start there. Codex app and Composer 1.5.
So Codex app is OpenAI's new Mac interface, designed to manage these coding agents. And Composer 1.5 is from Cursor. It's their updated model that doesn't just write code, it acts like an agent. It can plan multiple steps to solve a bug.
And then there's this term I keep seeing, Context Engine MCP from Augment Code. What on earth is an MCP?
MCP is Model Context Protocol. Think of it as a standard map for the AI. When an AI looks at a huge code base with thousands of files, it gets lost. MCP helps it understand the context, how one file relates to another.
Got it. So it's a map for the robot.
Exactly. It helps the agent find what it needs to fix your code without hallucinating.
Okay, let's look at creative tools. Kubrix and EZ Trimmer.
Kubrix is for high-end video generation. It's aiming for that cinema quality we talked about with ByteDance. EZ Trimmer is more of a utility. It uses AI to intelligently trim and split video clips in seconds.
Saving editors from the boring work.
Exactly. And obviously, audiobooks from 11 Labs fits in there too.
Right, the narration suite. And finally, productivity. Notion AI and Lorca.
Notion AI isn't new, but it's now deeply integrated into the workspace to handle project management tasks automatically. And Lorca is interesting. It's an aggregator. It lets you chat with all the top models, GPT, Claude, Gemini, all in one single interface.
So you don't have to keep switching tabs.
Exactly.
We have covered a tremendous amount of ground, from the rise of Chinese video models challenging the U.S. incumbents to the physical reality of building 10-gigawatt data centers.
And don't forget the ads. The user experience is changing just as fast as the infrastructure.
It really highlights that we're moving out of the wow phase and into the how does this actually work at scale phase.
Absolutely. The gloss is wearing off,
Yeah.
and the real engineering and the real bills are arriving.
We are going to wrap it up there. If you found this deep dive helpful, please make sure to follow the show, share AI Proof with a friend or a colleague who needs to stay updated but doesn't have time to scour the internet.
Thanks for listening.
See you in the next episode.